All right, welcome back, good people. On this episode, I want to talk about practice. I want to title this episode Practice. Why do I want to emphasize practice? Good question. I want to start by saying that in order to get good at something, you have to practice. Ask anybody. And that's whether you're doing sports, whether you're writing, whether you're reading, whether you're walking, whatever it is that you do. If you want to get better, you have to practice. That is what I'm doing here on these episodes. From July 1st until December 31st, as I create these episodes, I am practicing. Now, why am I practicing, or what am I practicing for? I'm practicing to set up my own podcast show called Speak with Larry's video podcast show, which I have an audio podcast show right now. These are practice-like episodes for me to get comfortable in front of the camera, more so, although I have over 700 videos on YouTube. I know, that's a lot, right? But still, I need more practice, because once I'm talking with someone, interviewing someone, if you will, then there are certain mannerisms or certain body languages that I have to control, right? One of those would be to do too much movement, too many gestures, right? I want to be kind of in control of that. And I want to be able to watch how I'm doing along the way before I actually position myself to have to do that, right? It's one of the things that I tell people all the time about starting without any money. When you don't have money, that's good initially. Please know that, because money is a diversion and it will take you away from what you need to do. How does that happen? Because it allows you to do some things you want to do. See, there are things you need to do and things you want to do. The things that need to be done, if you replace those with the things that you want to do, guess what you're allowing to happen? You're allowing your system to deteriorate, because these are needs. They must be done. You cannot not do those. But the wants, the reason you're doing those things that you want is because you have the resources, the money, the dollar bills, right? You have the skrilla, if you will, to go out and buy something, or go out and entertain yourself. But you're still not practicing what needs to be done. You have to practice. It's like people who, I know people, several people as a matter of fact, who are not really good at budgeting their money. And if you're not really good at budgeting your money, no matter how much money you get, you're not going to be okay. You're going to have to work on getting better at that, and not just lip service. You're going to have to put in time with that, because until you get better at sacrificing or doing without, sometimes you're not going to be good, because sometimes the money's going to get a little thin. You're going to have a little bit more month left at the end of your money. That's not a good feel, and if that's consistent, then that puts you in another mindset as far as the way you're feeling about life, the way you're feeling about what you're doing in life, right? Because if you never have enough money to do anything, that's okay for 2 or 3 months. But for the entire year, that puts you in another mindset, right? Hey, what do I need to do to get some more money? Because this is not working. Because it puts you under stress, puts you in a place where you feel like you're not contributing enough, right? Because every now and then we like to go out and buy some things for ourselves or our significant other or whoever you have in your life, right? That requires money. Now, if you're doing something that's going to generate money later down the road, like practicing to get better at something, then you're willing to sacrifice that. You're willing to wait, because you're going to see growth. Anything that you're practicing, you're going to see growth along the way. Anything. I want to say that, because that's how it works. That's what I call the gatekeeper. The practice is the gatekeeper that keeps you from getting what you want. If you don't put into practice, you don't get it. In other words, if you don't read the book, it's not possible for you to gain the information that's available in the book. Not possible. So, if you want that information, if you seek that information, if you want to get better at what you're doing, you must put into practice. And the practice is what people don't see. That's why they're able to criticize or critique you in a way that's based on what they see, because they don't understand the hours and months and weeks and years it took to get that good at doing that, for you to become comfortable enough in front of the camera or in front of the audience or wherever you are to be able to articulate what it is that you're sharing with who you're sharing it with, right? And sometimes that puts you on a pedestal. People will think you're somebody that you're not necessarily because of how well you can do something, right? That's kind of a good and bad thing, right? Because one of the things that we as human beings do is we love things that feeds our egos, right? So if what you're telling me and what you're telling me and what you're telling me and what you're telling me is good, then I'm going to feel a certain kind of way, right? And if enough people tell me that, I'm going to really feel that, right? That works positively and that works negatively. So if enough people are telling me negative things about me or what I'm doing on and on, you're going to have a strong will to continue on if you're going to let that affect you, because sometimes you kind of not have to read the credits, right, or not read the comments. Just let it be what it is, right? But that's when you're doing things from a place. If you're doing it from a place of you're not trying to hurt nobody, you're not trying to mislead anybody, you're only trying to help, then it is what it is. Because you're going to have haters regardless of who you are and what you're doing. They're coming. So don't worry about that. Just let that be. Just focus on the other 95% who aren't, right? Or whatever the case, whatever the numbers are, focus on those. And do you. Just do what you do. But you have to practice. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the work. Because that is when you're rewarded, when you put in the work. It's not like you can just want it and get it, or want it and be good at it. You have to commit, you have to sacrifice, and you have to be consistent with it, because only over time does it come. It doesn't show up tomorrow or the next day. It doesn't show up next week or next month. It shows up over time. And how much time is needed? It will determine that for you. But if you stop, you determine that for it, which is why you can't stop. You have to keep doing it and get better. And as you do, you get more comfortable with yourself. It's a process of developing self. And you are the person who can do that. As a matter of fact, you're the only person who should be able to do that. You shouldn't be relying on other people's input to determine your value, your worth, the way you feel about you. That should be based on you. If you want to be a good person and you do things that good people do, that you consider good people doing, then be that. That's what I do. I want to be a good person. Now, am I a good person? I think so, but others don't. Then you have those who do. So which ones do I think matter? Neither. It's how I feel, because it's personal development, right? You got to practice that. You got to work on that. And at the end of the day, you can be proud of who you are, you can be proud of what you do and what you stand for. My name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry, no spaces. Google it. Tell me what you think. My website, speakwithlarry.com. My blog, speakwithlarry.blog. I appreciate you guys listening, and I'm continually making more of these episodes, and I'm going to get better if you don't see better thus far. So, continue watching, and I'll see you on the next one.